Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me at 339-1670, or you can call my office at 238-6716. Those of you that have properties to sell or looking for properties to buy, you can also contact me. Now, I want to say a special good night to viewers of Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean and around the globe. Now, for those of you who have been looking for the Real Talk page and seen a whole bunch of Real Talk, we have edited our page. So when you're typing in Facebook now, you could look for Real Talk with Saieed Ali and our page would pop up. Those of you on YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe to it, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. Now, viewers, it's Mashup Monday. It's Mashup Monday. Remember to share our live stream. Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Like and share the page. Encourage your friends, encourage your family to look at Real Talk. Let them know we are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago that give you, the viewers, local and regional, the opportunity to call in, voice your concern of what is taking place in our lovely country of Trinidad and Tobago. So let them know it's a call-in program. We live from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday with a rerun the following day at 10 a.m. So viewers, as we start off the fiery night tonight, the Mashup Monday, listen this. You're going to love this. This year's budget deficit is set to be at $15.5 billion. Let me repeat that again. This year's budget deficit is set to be at $15.5 billion. Finance Minister Colin Imbert made the disclosure in the House of Representatives on Monday, today. This is largely because of the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic. He said the deficit is made up of a previously calculated deficit of $5.3 billion plus $10.2 billion of expenditure due to COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. You are listening that? You are listening that? This later is made up of $9.2 billion in lost state revenues and $1 billion in extraordinary costs, largely comprising of social support and business support. So where are we heading? For the viewers of Real Talk, for the economists, for the people that is viewing on, feel free to call in, voice your concern. He said, even though Parliament had given its approval to have $20 billion taken out. I will repeat that. Even though Parliament had given its approval to take out $20 billion out from the Heritage and Stabilization Funds, to date, none was taken out. However, he said it would be done in a structured manner. So they have plans to go in. They have plans to go in. He said none is taken out as yet, but I'm looking on very closely. Minister Imbert pledged to retain the budget original expenditure of $53 billion. So viewers, because of the fallout, because of COVID-19. So are we going up? You tell me. Or are we going down? Is Trinidad and Tobago getting better? Or are we going down a slippery slope very fast? Very fast. And I want you, previous administrations had put things in place for rainy days. According to Imbert, let me use the correct term. According to our finance minister, Colin Imbert, we are in rainy days. We are in storm. If we wait for next year, people could die. So we're not waiting for next year. We make an arrangement to go in it now. And they rewrite what they have to rewrite. And Parliament approves it. So feel free to call in 238-6716. Let me hear what you have to say as we start off tonight's show. So just to clarify this now concerning the Minister of Security, Mr. Stuart Young. The minister said 5 chartered flights also came in to take the foreign nationals who were working on oil rigs back to their homes. So 5 flights, 5 chartered flights. He allowed to come in to pick up workers or foreign nationals who are working on oil rigs to carry them back to their homes. So listen this. National Security Minister Stuart Young has assured, we're moving on, that COVID-19 has not affected this country's gas production. He said, since the closure of our borders last month, he has been in contact with the management of the energy companies. Minister Young was at today's virtual media conference.
Unfortunately for Trinidad and Tobago, our gas production has continued unabated. There's been no dip in our production. This is not by VAPS, this was not by fluke, as we say in Trinidad, but it was through careful management of a number of things, including working along with national security.
Minister Young said, most of the persons working on the rigs are non-national citizens.
For the incoming crews, we asked that they bring them in via marine vessels, because that would take some time across the waters. It would give us some time to monitor, to pass the 14, the 21 days of them being quarantined on these ships once nobody presented. What we then did is allow those ships to come in. No one was allowed to disembark. So these rigs, in some instances, as well as supply vessels, came in via sea after crossing 21 days. We didn't allow them to disembark. We cleared them and sent them straight out to the rigs.
So viewers, according to the Minister of National Security, we don't have to worry about COVID-19 coming into Trinidad. That is according to the Minister of National Security. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Said.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, Said, by the Minister of Finance, say that for this 5 years, how much money they put in stabilization fund. Why you don't say that? So they go know how much money they will take out for this 5 years. How much they put in? You know, they put in nothing. We never hear they come out and say they put in anything. But they want to take out.
True.
You understand?
Yes. Thank you, my friend. So I have a question tonight. And I want to ask the Minister of Health. Is there anybody that is working in CAFA lab in Trinidad and Tobago have contacted coronavirus? Is something I am asking the Ministers of Health. And I'm also asking the CMO, is there anybody that is working with CAFA in Trinidad and Tobago have been affected with coronavirus? I'm asking the minister a question. You know, media personnel will sit down in their press briefing and ask questions. So tonight I'm asking the minister that. I'm asking the minister that. Come back to me, guys. I'm asking the minister. And if so, please let the public know how many individuals. All you know is come straight and it's come on target. That was a question for the minister. So we're moving along now. Nationals in Suriname. 32 nationals of Trinidad and Tobago have been granted permission to return home. However, National Security Minister Stuart Young said they would have to do it on their own accord, with their own expense, on their own. He said the people who are being allowed in are not part of one group, but are spread across Suriname. So it's Trinidadians across Trinidad in Suriname will be able to come home, but you're doing it at your own expense, your own accord. I break it down so you would understand. He said, upon their return, they will be subjected to the assessment of local medical professionals and quarantine for the mandatory of 14 days. So I have a next question for the Minister of Health. And it's something I just asking. It's not to spread rumors or anything, you know. It's something I'm asking you. Is the Princess Elizabeth home? It is a nice home, you know. They're well fitted. Is the Princess Elizabeth home also being used as a COVID-19 facility? I'm asking a question. Just like a media briefing, you know, would sit down and ask the minister's question. I am asking a question. I'm asking questions because I know people are listening. I know advisors are listening. I know managers, I know supervisors next to ministers are listening. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Said.
Go right ahead.
I'm vexed, I'm still vexed. When I hear the news this evening, this man, this Tobagonian Prime Minister we have here, could tell me that Trinidadians don't like to go to work. The man insulting Trinidadians, and we still hadn't. We have a Pakistani Attorney General. We have a St. Lucian or St. Vincent Deputy Prime Minister, and a Tobagonian Prime Minister too. And this man insulting Trinidadians like that, and people going to vote for this man? People Trinidadians this time may catch all yourself, because you cannot go to Tobago and fight the election. Even they will pelt you out of there. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Technically, the Prime Minister is saying to Trinidadians, all you like to stay home, all you getting paid to stay home, all you lazy. But you break it down in different words. And all you like to stay home, all you getting paid to stay home. Now I could say, for those of you who are concerning the grants, over the weekend, I spoke to someone high up on social development, permanent secretary, the deputy permanent secretary. I won't say the exact level, but that's why I call those different names. They are working on the rental assistance grant and the salary relief grants. So those of you who placed in their application, who submit their application through the offices, I was told that they are in process of these grants. So landowners now, landlords now, over the weekend, we saw where people were being put out. So to the landlords who so money hungry in Trinidad and Tobago, all you will get all your money. All you will get all your money. I took up the initiative to personally call someone from quite up on top to ask them, hey, what is the key back with the rental grants and the salary relief grants and things for people in Trinidad and Tobago? He said, Saeed, honestly, I am telling you, we are in the process of it. It's just that the amount they have, they are in process. I understand that ministers are carrying home forms to approve. So I pick it up on myself to call to find out, because it's almost a month. We're going into another 15 days again. So from now, Monday, tonight, for the next 3 weeks, we will be on lockdown. According to the Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, he said on the 15th of May, we are locked down until the 15th of May, stay-at-home policies, but on the 10th of May, they will be able to say if we opening back or we are going to extend again. So for the landlords and the people who apply for salary grants and stuff like that, your applications are being processed. I can safely say that because my sources, they don't twist figures. They just hit me as they get it. So call a good night. Hello? Go right ahead.
Yeah, no, I know according to Teresa, because you a man is a man of equality and you like things to be done appropriately, right? And as we say, we all in this together. I just calling from San Grande, but I just want to highlight something. The police in San Grande, if you stop to buy up papers and you stay idle time, they tell you, well, look, you buy your papers? You tell them, they say, well, what are you doing here? Go, right? So even you're waiting for a taxi. If you stay too long in taxi come, they tell you, well, you have to start to walk. They give you this kind of talk, right? So now I'm going to highlight something to you. It have a person about 500 feet from the San Grande police station. They're selling roti and pie around 500 feet from the police station. The police and all self going and buy it, right? And what I'm saying while talking to you this, if you can't even stop on the street to say, well, buy papers too long, they're running you. But you're patronizing in a person who have a parlor and selling roti, and it just about 500 feet from the police station. That is between Briley Street and Foster Road. I have a I.M. place named Jack's fried chicken place. That place closed down, and the people selling roti. Up to today, I passed in because I went by K-Farm Drugstore, which is approximately 50 feet away from there. I had two fellas on the road waiting to tell you, but look, we're selling things, you could come in and go inside there.
Oh, and
right?
so the police station 500 feet away from that and they're not doing anything? Thank you, my friend.
Okay.
So there's something for the San Grande police station, the officers, to look into. So for the officers of the San Grande, please do all your job. So here it is. Watch me. Tonight I read and I'm ready for all you. So listen this. According to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, he have taken salary cuts. With one tongue, he said he have taken salary cuts. With the tongue before that, they never discussed to take salary cut. Good? According to him, each member have taken it upon themselves, each MPs, to see about their community. Good? All right. Over the weekend, we heard that from the Prime Ministers. So listen this now. Councillor for Las Lomas, San Rafael. Ms. Balmati, go sign, I think is her name. Please forgive me if I waive on your title. Is calling on the MP or the Member of Parliament for La Hoqueta Talparo, Maxi Coffee, to assist with hampers for the constituencies. For his constituent member. I'm ready for you tonight. Keep in mind how much money they spent, 2-point-something million for Maxi Bill, eh? Keep that in mind. In speaking with other media, Councillor Gosai noted that she distributed hamper in Las Lomas by digging into her own pocket to help those that are in need. She noted that constituents are struggling to sustain themselves and their family. She quoted, I am calling on the MP for the area, Mr. Maxi Coffee, to come out and assist those of Las Lomas, because the Prime Minister said the MPs must do their part, but Mr. Coffee is not following his instructions. He has forgotten his area, end quote. So, that is why since Thursday of last week, I said, no, Wednesday, my mistake. I said, feel free to call in and voice your concerns from the individuals in the constituency throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Have you seen your MPs? Have you seen your councillors? Call a good night. Hello?
Yeah. Said?
Go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, how could you just make a comment that landlords are money hungry? Do you know of our financial commitments?
All right, let me explain something to you. Before you label me,
I'm not labeling you.
Listen,
you know.
listen closely, listen carefully. Listen closely, listen carefully. A lot of people call me from the West in a prime, I would say, upscale society and said, Said, we are being bullied by a landlord. By a landlord for rent. Now listen this. Banks in Trinidad and Tobago have came out. Anybody who is owing a loan in any bank, banks in Trinidad and Tobago have deferred loan payments for up to 3 months. So if a landlord is paying a loan on his property, the bank is giving that person 3 months extension or 3 months waiver on their loan payment. So they cannot say they have a loan to pay for their property because the bank gives individuals with loan a waiver for 3 months. You know why I'm talking like this? Because my facts is being real. So when you call in here, you can't insult me because I'm beating you with facts. I'm beating you with facts. So Maxi Coffee. I don't know if you resign. I don't know if you're in Trinidad because people not seeing you being an MP. And I wonder if you are still receiving your salary as an MP. I tell you, I read and I ready tonight. All I see the red and people down there, them ready to listen, I ready to mash it up. Call her good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Two things, right?
Yes. Make it quick.
I'm having a cabinet meeting, right? As the health minister, and I will they're talking about the 95 mass and pay something. Not one of the ministers and them have correct mass with the public to get, right?
as the front line, who in the front line of to have it. Not one of them ministers, not all of them in have one. Second thing is the prime minister, all them ministers, they take a 50% cut in the salary. Right? They verbally, they would amount, right? Why they come out of a letter and submit a letter and say where they go? Where everybody can see for themselves that
they have taken cuts.
They take a salary cut.
Thank you, my friend. St. Lucia, I believe in St. Lucia did that. The minister them took a 50% cut to supply or to give back to the constituency. In Trinidad, let me tell you something. In Trinidad, we ain't doing that. I know what I tell you. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. That will break their standard of living. Let me tell you something. Each minister up there is a normal human being, you know. Before election, you are a normal individual walking through the streets as normal, you know. Normal. When you become a minister, you forget you is a human being. You forget you was walking on the roads of Trinidad and Tobago. You forget you was driving among the traffic in Trinidad and Tobago. You're forgetting that. Power going to your head now. Your mind only doing bling, 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 bling. A bell in your head ringing. I have power. I am a minister. I could do what I want. Let me tell you something. That bell is only ring for 5 years in your head. After that 5 years, you have the worst name to carry out the rest of your natural human life. So all you're not invisible. Anyone all can get COVID-19. Anyone all you. All I feel because I'm not talking for the present one. I'm talking for the one to come, and I'm talking about the past. When power gets to your head, it is shake you. Call her good night. Hello? I guess we lost that. I tell you, power does shake people, you know. When you get it, you could do what you want. I am the boss. You forget. You forget when your wife cooked dal and rice and bhaji home, you forget you're eating it. Now you're getting a little steak to eat, you're enjoying the steak. But after the 5 years of eating steak, you're going back to dal, rice and bhaji. You're going back to walking among the poor citizens. Call her good night.
Hello, Mr. Ali.
Yes, go right ahead.
Good night. I want to find out if I'm dead or he alive. I call him from upper Walton Street. We only seen him for election, but he had no vote to get from me. You hear me? No vote.
Thank you, my friend. Now, I want ministers to understand something. I want senators to understand something. I can't talk about the past. I can't talk about the future, but I'm talking about the present who ruling. I tell you, my show is be based on facts. If you want to remain in power, what do? Being a police officer, and you want to climb the ladder, you have to study to pass an exam in order to be a corporal or a sergeant or an inspector or an acting superintendent. You have to write an exam to climb the ladder. Being a minister in any country, how do you stay in power? You come down to the people. You come down to the people and you let them know, well, okay, I was campaigning, I offer myself up to all the individuals, all of decided to give me a chance. Now I'm in power, now I want to know what I could do for all you. But because of you all, I am where I am today. I have the access to the central bank funding. I have access to fix the hospital. I have access to fix the road. And if every MP for their constituency see about their areas, you will always hold on to that bell ringing in your ears, where you determine to yourself and you call it power. I show you how to stay in power. So while I heat it up tonight, I want to give a little shout out to the people in Plumita, who are added viewers of Real Talk. So good night, Plummeter. And also, I want to say a good night to Sergeant Sukram from the Barataria Police Station. Since COVID-19 have been introduced in Trinidad and Tobago, the officers in the Barataria Police Station, they have been working diligently to make sure that everything is okay in the community. You know, the span that the stations see about, they are working to make sure, especially Sergeant Sukram and his team, they are working to make sure that everybody goes according to the laws of Trinidad in that area. So a special good night to Sergeant Sukram of the Barataria Police Station and his crew. Call a good night.
Good night. Good night.
Go right ahead.
I can speak to you.
Hello, live on Real Talk, go right ahead.
Yeah, hello?
Yes?
Yeah, I live in the Maxi area. Right? Mr. Maxi Coffee hasn't come in this area. He has come once since the government in power. Right? Once. Right? You can see the condition of the roads and so on. Right? I mean, you're not even showing the areas where it's happening. Right? The water shortages, the road condition is extremely bad. I mean, for some reason, I mean, there's no visit at all for him at all.
What area is this?
And I'm very, very disappointed with that. And I'm glad you are speaking about him tonight. Right? I'm glad you are speaking.
What area is this?
I take some villagers and buy some cement and to fix the road. Right, to fix the road, even to the culture of the roads and so on.
What area?
Yes, come in Las Lomas.
Las Lomas?
In power. That's the point. And I thank you for making more work, the statement you make. Not to help the people. Maybe the roads that people live in Las Lomas.
Thank you, my friend. Dr. Avery Hines has stated that dangerous data was revealed to the public in a newspaper report on Sunday. He addressed the issues at today's virtual media conference. Newspaper reported that there were 498 deaths as a result of pneumonia in the last 4 months.
Clearly, from the stats that were presented, it was not. What was done was a number of mentions of particular things, whether it was pneumonia, hypertension, diabetes, etc. That was counted and presented as numbers of deaths.
So viewers, just to clear it up, you all heard it from Dr. Avery Hines. It was other method of illness that caused the death, and they added it as pneumonia. So that is what the doctor said. Dr. Hines said that the process of mortality death is a specialized field.
The processing of mortality data in particular is a specialized field. It's a field that requires extensive training. It's a field that requires specific programs and processes to be used. And these are elements of data analysis that even the average doctor would not be exposed to on a regular basis.
So for those of you who were wondering if it was COVID-19, it's not. Just to make it clear, according to the doctor, not according to Saieed, but according to the doctor. Call a good night.
Hello, good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead.
I thought the Minister of Health, they are saying giving out free masses. Free masses to the people. And I want you to give an update on this thing. I hear the U.S. Embassy give them money for the corona virus. I want you to keep attack on them.
Hey, the amount of money passing through Trinidad and Tobago, or I should say, going to the Treasury or going to the finance ministers is billions of dollars for the last 4 weeks. For the last 4 weeks. According to the finance minister, 20 billion alone from heritage and stabilization funds they have access to. Plus over 100 million US dollar. Plus 400 and I believe it's 39,000 US. It's a lot of money have been donated to Trinidad and Tobago for the last 4 weeks. But I took it up upon myself, being the host of Real Talk, since we deal with the facts and bring the issues to you. I took it upon myself over this weekend to get in touch with someone from upstairs in social development, whether I be the deputy permanent secretary, whether I be in the permanent secretary's office. I took the opportunity to call someone to find out about the self-relief grant and the rental assessment. Side it is in process is because the large volume of grants, of documents that have been submitted to us, it will take a little time, but they are in the process. Like I said, ministers are carrying home documents, supervisors, managers, they have been carrying it home to sign off on so that the people can get their rental assessment grants and salary relief grant. So this is one thing I can safely tell you all, they are working on it. The processing of applications for people who lost income during pandemic has increased in volume. This is according to Social Development Minister Camille Robinson-Regis. In a media release, the minister said over 12,000 applications were received and a number of households are expecting to receive their payment this week. They are expected to. These payments are from the range of grants including income support, food support, and rental assistance. So there are 3 different categorized payments: income support, food support, and rental assistance. She said her ministry will meet its obligations to bring relief to those negatively affected by the impact of the pandemic. Applications have been checked and balanced to prevent fraudulent receipts of funding. So viewers, I can safely say that this story that I am covering, managers and supervisors have been carrying documents home to make sure that they are approved in time. So I can safely say tonight that those of you that are in rent coming up for this April month, it will be there by the end of this week in order to meet your deadline payments. I can safely say that because I was assured by this person that they would get it. So landlords, just have a little patience. Don't need to get all hasty up on things, because keep in mind, these are the same people after this COVID-19 pandemic passes, they are the same people would be in your place. So don't get too frantic up. We have a caller. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, to understand, I find Trinidad does over waste too much of money. Over the administration does waste too much of money in wasteless things. You understand? And you know, by the way, we have any works minister in Trinidad? You know, I don't know who is the works minister in Trinidad. I never heard it come out and give nobody who working that thing nothing yet. You understand?
Thank you, my friend. While nothing that concerns people have with using other forms of identifications apart from the identification card, the minister said the national ID card is utilized as a unique identifier to prevent fraud and duplications in payment. So your ID card more or less is the only unique only unique, valid form of ID that will safely get you your check. The public is also reminded that the use of expired ID cards are permissible given the unique ones of this situation and the need to urgently process claims form. So even though your ID card is expired, I guess you can use it. It is permissible. So those of you who have your expired ID cards, I remember one guy calling me and said his ID card was expired and they're not using the passport or the driver's permit. So my friend, you can use an expired card to sign up for your grants. Call a good night. Hello? Guess we lost that. From now until COVID-19 expires in Trinidad and Tobago, my question is, would we be able to live? Would we be able to live on the substantial amount that the government is providing for citizens? Call a good night. Hello? I guess you lost that. As of this week, the Minister of Health would be depending its relationship and support for residential care facilities, deepening its relations in support of residential care facilities. This announcement was made by the Health Minister, Terence Dialsing, at today's media conference.
We are going to be supporting you even further.
He said random testing of persons exhibiting flu-like symptoms at those homes would be conducted.
We are going to be supporting you even further by going into these facilities by the middle to end of this week to do random testing of your long care patients once they meet the expanded case definition. That will be part of our expanded surveillance.
Now they say it is deepening its relations and support for residential care facilities. So we're talking about homes, right? Right, Navin? Right, Shane? We're talking about homes, right? Now, wasn't that the same minister who said he is advising the caregivers to let their patients go home? Wasn't that the same minister saying that? Where do you get this? Nowhere else but in Real Talk. Send them home so it will prevent spread of COVID-19. All right, talk now, man. Talk now. Minister Dialsing also said masks and personal protective equipment such as PPE will be given to these homes.
We will also, and we have identified some masks and some other PPE that we'll be providing free of charge to these facilities as they continue their good work in partnering with the government on this.
Now it's good work. Now it's good work. Hey? It's when you're Real Talk, you just get that, you know. 1 minute you're sending them home, the next minute you're coming to see about them. This week you're telling me, don't wear masks, it is extremely dangerous. The following week you tell me, wear we mask. Make sure and have your mask, it will save your life. I tell you, I reach this stage now, I don't know if to believe or not to believe. I'm telling you, this week is hit the hammer on the nail head. That next week now, it don't hit the hammer on the nail head. That is why I just bring it to you all. with video footage so you would understand what's taking place. Caller, good night.
Yeah, Mr. Saieed, good night. Everybody is affected with this coronavirus.
Yes.
Right. So the money, what they say they're giving to people, just how they're sending the voting pad in the mail to every citizen. Why they send the cash in the same mail to citizens?
That will have a lot of robberies. Thank you, my friend. Now, it's just something I want to add to everything that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Parents are urged to ensure their children are immunized. Health Minister Terence Dialsing said, this is to ensure that there is no outbreak of other disease.
What we notice in other countries is that the immunization program tends to fall off. And what we don't want in Trinidad, while we deal with COVID, to have an outbreak of tetanus, measles, mumps, rubella, polio, whooping cough, diphtheria, yellow fever. All these childhood diseases, which can have grave consequences, can be mitigated by vaccination.
So viewers, I read and I ready tonight. A couple weeks ago, I should say, just before the Christmas. And I'm proud to say this, you know, no other shows on TV, no other ministers present, not present, past, thought about this. But I came on the scene out of nowhere for 2 years and become the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago because we deal with the issues. So listen to this. Pop the picture, guys. Because of Real Talk and pushing for the legislations of marijuana, Uncle here now, I had to block off his face. And if you all have noticed, I've been showing you all photos and videos of marijuana plants with individuals in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, if you have more than 4 trees, you will be charged for cultivating. I'm reminding you all that. If you have more than 30 grams on your possession, you will be held for trafficking, I guess, marijuana. But because of Real Talk and a push for the legislations of you could plant marijuana, but no more than 4 trees. You could smoke your marijuana, but no more than 30 grams in your possession. Papi here now could take out a photo and put it up and show the world that I have 4 trees of marijuana plant and it is illegal. So while I'm saying that now, I want to big up my director Shane now. I want to big up my director Shane now because I think he have 4 trees and 4 buckets plant. Yes. And he always say, thanks to my boss Saieed Ali, I could show this brave and bold. Yeah. So that's why they say, now viewers, keep in mind that I still have my food drive going on. I'm collecting cash. I'm asking individuals of Trinidad and Tobago to plant a seed of $1,000. Friday on Fire Friday gone, you heard of a woman who planted a seed. She had a sickness and she planted a seed. It doesn't matter what race or religious background she is from, but she believed in God. And she planted a seed and her sickness was healed. So I'm appealing to you, citizen of Trinidad. Today somebody from Tobago wire transferred $1,000. My dear, I want to thank you so much. I didn't get time to call you back to tell you that we got the money. Thank you so much. So those of you who can't come to Real Talk Studios on Caroni Savannah Road in Shogunas, put the money in an account. Tomorrow I'll give you an update of how much we have collected thus far. Now viewers, I'm asking of you, plant a seed. Plant it on your behalf or your family behalf or a loved one's behalf. Let me tell you something. Planting a seed will open a door that you couldn't even imagine. So as Fire Friday went, I took the opportunity to call the woman who I met Friday morning, and she said, Saeed, planting seed have me where I am today. So I'm asking you all to contribute $1,000. When you're lineman and you're fetting, you're blowing out $1,000. You're spending out $1,000. The businessman, the upper class, the lower class, and the middle class. When you're lineman, you're spending out $1,000. It come like nothing. It come like nothing. You're whining, you're dining. Next day, headache, body pain. Oh God, you know, I could have do so much with $1,000. But you can't get no reward from it because it done gone. But what you could do now, I'm advising you, citizens of Trinidad, if you want to see a miracle in your life, now that seed that you're planting is not an ordinary man you're planting that seed by, you know. It's somebody who does do spiritual work. So when you plant that seed in Real Talk for the purpose of feeding the poor, that same $1,000, you never know you could get $100,000. That same $1,000 you plant, you never know you could get a miracle for some sick one in your house. Something you wanted a long time. You never know that $1,000 could open a door for you. It's like the lady who came at me and said, Saeed, I am planting $1,500 into you. 14 days after, she had access to $1.5 million, $1.5 million. She came, she said, Saeed, hold that. I came willing you, and you said a prayer willingly and faithfully on my behalf, and she got access. So planting seed, viewers, you're not planting it. I will remind you again. You see my jacket pocket here? It's not going here. The waistcoat have one, it's not going here. I have one here too, it ain't going here. Neither it ain't going in the back pocket. I am already funding Real Talk. You are not paying to fund Real Talk. What you are planting a seed for, you are planting it on behalf of the poor citizen in Trinidad and Tobago. You are planting it on behalf of something you may need. A loved one sick, you need a loan, you need a vehicle, you need a house. You're planting it on behalf of that, and you're giving it towards our drive. So don't tell yourself you're putting your $1,000 inside pocket. Now you're making a mistake. You're making a mistake. 2 years of funding it, and I'm paying staff, and I'm paying everything without asking for anybody. I am asking you for that seed to feed the poor. So viewers, you have a call on the line. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead, my dear.
Only on your platform, you know you could talk your mind and say what you have to say. Thanks to you. Side common sense was made before book.
True.
And our commissioner of police had common sense and he had book sense. He has road sense. He's the only commissioner, is an all-round commissioner, and I'm proud of him being a commissioner of this country, finally Trinidad and Tobago. The magistrate retired that say XYZ about the commissioner. When these big hardback men penetrating these infants all over the place, why they don't stand up, all of them? Right? All these big people with big qualifications and big names that they carry in. Why when these crimes, these children are being sexually abused, molested, beaten, to a pulp, nobody coming out to say nothing, but they want to criticize my commissioner of police for trying to curb COVID in the country, to done people who you had to read and spell for sight. Why the police had to come out and tell people to go home, preventing them from getting sick. Hats off, kudos to my commissioner of police. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Also, viewers, many people are saying, many people in authority, they are saying that there's no law, there's no legislations for police to stop you and tell you go back home. Let me tell you something. It's not only in Trinidad and Tobago The government is telling people to stay home. They are telling you all to stay home. Now, for those of you who know how Real Talk is function, how Saieed is function, they will tell you, I will hit the hammer on the nail head. And if there's something with a minister, I will say about that minister. If there's something in the private sector, I will mention about the private sector. But tonight, there's a virus going around. And in order to contain it, to contain the spread, not only for the minister's benefit, you know, but for your loved ones, and for the wife that you love so much, and for the child that you love so much. Yes, I understand that we are in a difficult situation with finance. You are staying home just to save the life of your loved ones, you know. That is why you are staying home. And I want all you to take in consideration, if you jump out your work and somebody in your work cough or sneeze and droplets fall on you and you catch this virus, COVID-19, now there are 8 deaths so far. You never know if you would be lucky or unlucky to die. I'm not telling you this to frighten you, you know. I'm telling you this so you will check yourself. For you to check yourself. Because nobody ain't coming by you to give you this, that, or the next when your family die from COVID-19. It's your safety, it's your family, it's your boyfriend and girlfriend you're saving. Put a data plan. Put that data plan and call on WhatsApp. You have free calls on data plan. Call them, you can't see them, video call them. Baby, how you going? How you looking so nice today? Do that and save the life. So, we have a caller line. Caller, good night.
Very good night.
Go right ahead.
Kudos for the good work you're doing again. The COVID-19 is here. It's dangerous, yes. Yes, the government is taking whatever steps to take to safeguard the people of the country. But for the last 4 weeks, our country has gotten about $30 billion.
Correct.
$30 billion. That is more than half of our budget for every 5 years that this government has gone into power. Now, we're looking at what they have been doing with regards to the to how they using this money. Now, they want people to stay at home. Yes, people are staying at home. But listen to me, Saieed. They are not. This minister only talking about ramping up tests, and no tests. Out of so long, we have only taken 1,300 tests. And the Prime Minister is saying to the country, for the next 2 weeks, we are going to take 700 tests. What ramping up tests is he really talking about? Where is he getting? They think people in Trinidad and Tobago is so dunce. We are dummies here.
True.
To really listen to these 4 vagabonds.
All right, caller. Caller, I do apologize. I do apologize for cutting, but when you're calling Real Talk, please, like I said, I will not hesitate to cut. Make a proper criticism. You could criticize somebody without calling names. I do apologize for that. Right? Now, remember, viewers, we are almost at the end of Real Talk, about 30 seconds left. For those of you who have been calling and not seeing the rerun, because of the media briefings at 10 o'clock in the morning, Synergy is obligated to run the broadcast of the media briefing. So we are trying to work out something so that you will see the rerun during the day. I am aware of that. We are out of time for tonight. Keep in mind, viewers, plant a seed, $1,000 seed. I am asking you on behalf of the poor. The poor don't have a voice. I created a voice for them. And I thank God for that. So if you want to see a little miracle, something happen in your life, plant a seed. I'm asking you. I'm also asking the Minister of Social Development, pump a little 2 million into Real Talk now. We will go out and feed the poor. Because thus far, child sex offender registry up and running. anti-gang legislation in place, firearm act in place, no bail for repeater of a firearm, marijuana, well, thus far we legalized. You could plant 40 and move it 30 grams. Social development, now we calling on all, you know. Because people depending on Real Talk to give them information that you all not sharing. So pump a little thing in social development, now, Minister. Give you a little 2 million and let me go and feed some poor. I ain't afraid to ask, you know. When all your pocket going ching at the end of every 30 days, it have the poor ones and they may even seen the shilling. So, pump a little 2 million, I know the Minister of Finance listening, I know the Health Minister listening, I know the AG watching, I know the Prime Minister is have an ear in everything. 2 million are bad. Out of the 30 billion, the 20-something billions all I get. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight. Nevertheless, Real Talk will be here tomorrow night. That is Tuesday, to give you some updates on what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Until then, ila santa ba illa kira amatu ada. Meaning, your kindness will go a long way if you believe and have faith. Viewers, be safe. Until we meet again, good night.